Good morning, YouTube. Tempted Auto here. This is Paul. I am on my way home with the Studebaker that I picked up in Tennessee. We are now somewhere in West Virginia. I stopped for the night after washing the car. So I figure this is a good time to maybe look it over and figure some things out. I did, at the junkyard, I did turn the motor over by hand, and it does spin. It's not stuck, so that's kind of a relief. Other than that, and just a little bit of peeking around, that's all I know about it. So let's go take a look together and see if it's going to be something we can work with. So here we go. So here it is, a little cleaner. I don't know if I did a good job. It was pretty late by the time I got to a car wash, but bumper's chrome again instead of green. That's kind of nice. The paint is awful. I think it's Rust-Oleum. It's just kind of blowing off. I've got you right in the sun. Come around to the other side so I'm not blinding you in the sun. But yeah, the paint's just flaking like big flakes. So that's not good. It's all over like that. I actually pulled a big piece of Bondo off here, but I'm not really sure why yet. It's too bad it was on there because it made a mess, but I think I can clean that up. As far as the doors will open because of the trailer, that's perfect. So yeah, so the paint, there's no saving the paint. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. Probably nothing. So yeah, see, I missed not a very good washer, I guess, after dark. So the interior on this thing, though, like, look at this interior. Look at the dash, completely untouched. I'm not sure what that dash pad is, but it matches the seats. Headliner's like, I don't know what this stuff is. I mean, it's pretty pretty interesting. Did Studebaker come like this? I don't even know. Looks like Zsa Zsa Gabor and Liberace was their decorators. But hey, it looks plush. Needs a good scrubbing. Also, there's two Studebaker hubcaps back there. So that's kind of neat. I don't know what these are. They look like Oldsmobile or some GM hubcap on it now. Make them go away. So I pulled all the straps off. We can see what's in the trunk. Maybe, if I can figure out. Studebaker. It doesn't turn. Oh, that might have been it. Nope. Felt right. I felt like it did something. There, that definitely did something. There we go. Back you up a second. So, let's see what's in here. What in the world? Are these all satellite control, stereo, CD player? Good grief. More antique auto equipment. Some wires. A mess of wires. Oh, we have a car part. And we have a air cleaner. We have a Georgia license plate. It's registered as an antique vehicle. We got this funky odor. You know what we also have though? We have a floor. We have a trunk floor. This is tight. I have some trim back here. What a mess. What a mess. Alright, so I do have some trim pieces. I also have a clutch fork. That probably should get me a little nervous. I have a bumper jack. I'm gonna have to set you down so I don't get you dizzy. Let me get you on the tripod and we'll get back to this. Okay, I know the audio was bad on the first piece. I'm hoping it's good now. I have the battery in. Everything's been sprayed with PB Blaster. We're gonna hook this up and see if it does anything scary. This was jammed as tight as I could get it. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't have to be like that. So, didn't burst into flames. That's a good sign. I have my trigger hooked up. See if this thing will roll over for the first time since '96. Nothing. Nothing. All right. Bit. I can jump it, I guess, if I have to. I didn't even hear this thing click. Didn't even try. Back up in there. Push the hood open just a little bit higher. Okay, so after a little bit of cleaning, tightening this up, I hook the trigger back up and oh, and she catches the battery on fire. But hey, that's all right. Spins over. Not too shabby either. All right. Well, progress. We got a motor that rolls over. Sounds like it's got even compression. Let's get some fuel and some spark in this thing. We might have a running vehicle. So I got the distributor cap off. The rotor button, which is here somewhere, is cracked, and the Rock Auto parts that I have are the wrong ones. I did clean the points up a little bit, but there's really nothing more I can do until I get the right part. So unfortunately, the roadside repair, which was what I was hoping for this video to be, not going to happen. But I'm going to order the part on my phone, and hopefully it'll be home before too long, and we'll finish this video up with this thing running, hopefully, or at least the next bit of progress getting it running. It's good to hear it turn over. It turns over pretty smooth. That's a good sign. PB Blaster has already freed things up. Everything's starting to move pretty easy now. I'm going to still rebuild that carburetor at home, and I guess this is almost GM style, so I don't know. Oh, this is very GM style. It even has the window for the points adjustment. Don't know anything about Studebakers. This is my first time even touching one, let alone working on one. So we'll figure it out, and we'll keep going. But for now, I guess I'll just button this up, spray everything down with PB Blaster one last time, and pull it home. And when I get the right parts, we'll get right back to this thing. Well, welcome back. As you can see, it's still sitting on the trailer. This is, oh, I don't know, maybe 4 days since I've come home with it. Finally got some parts rounded up. So let's take a look again. get all caught up to speed together, and see if we can come up with a plan to move forward. So I did figure out this switch, and it is part of the overdrive system on these cars. There's a solenoid, I don't know all that much about it, but there's a solenoid on the overdrive unit, and that switch will, at full throttle, it will close the solenoid perhaps and lock out the overdrive, so it'll put it back into third gear, kind of like a passing gear. At least that's how I understand it works. I haven't seen it yet because I'm still sitting on the trailer on 4 flat tires and I'm too fat to get under there. I have a new set of points. I have a new cap. I have a new rotor. I have a new coil, the new plugs and new wires. So I should have no reason to not have spark. The other issue though is that this carburetor is really filthy. So I think my best course of action right now is to pull the spark plugs, get some PB blaster and transmission fluid down the cylinders just to kind of soak the rings a little bit. I'm going to rebuild the carburetor, I think. And while the oil is working its magic, when I get the carburetor rebuilt, then we'll come back, put some points in this thing, give it a tune-up kit, put all the cap, rotor, plugs, wires, all that on it. By then, hopefully my battery will be charged because I forgot to charge that also. And then we can maybe run a jumper to the coil and spin it over and see if it barks to life. So let's get that carburetor off. So they used wood to block vacuum lines. Look at the crud in there. Guys, when I said this thing had a solid trunk, when I was just poking around in it with a screwdriver, but it was full of crap, man, I wasn't kidding. This is a really solid trunk. And if that doesn't excite you, then you don't live in the Rust Belt like I do. And I'm jealous of you. But, man, if you live in the Rust Belt, this is amazing. I mean, that's just terrific. So, anyways, I told you I was going to rebuild the carburetor, and then I got digging into this and got distracted. So, I'm going to get back to the carburetor now. Okay, so on top of the Rock Auto parts that came, actually, let's go over that. I got a carburetor rebuild kit. I got a coil. I have some plug wires. None of these are the right parts. I have some spark plugs. I have cap and rotor. Oops. And I believe I have a, well, no, I guess that's all I have for that. The points are in. I still have to adjust them. I got to roll the motor over. To do that, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let that oil soak into those pistons for a while longer. We're going to get this carburetor rebuilt. The other thing that I got off of eBay, let me set some stuff out of my way. And that box right there, hopefully, is the missing heater box in the fender. See if I can set this somewhere. Where I don't drop you guys. All right. So I found that. I'm hoping it's the right part. Kind of looks like it is. I'm surprised it's made out of plastic, to be honest with you. Go to the other side. See if I can set you over here instead. Aim you in the right direction. There, something like that. It has a heater core in it, but I don't think I'll trust that. But just to have this right there, that's a pretty big deal. I'll have to see if that heater core can even be replaced. If not, maybe I'll have to, I don't know, send it to a radiator shop. My radiator's junk also. It's probably either going to need recored or replaced. And again, I'll have to see what's actually available for a Studebaker. But right now, let's go rebuild a carburetor and get that thing back on. See if we can make this thing make some noise today. Okay, finally back to the Studebaker. It has been at least a week. I've gotten it off the trailer. I've moved some things around, ordered some parts, got some parts. I can't remember where we were on this thing last time we worked on it. So let me try to catch up to speed where I think I left everything. Let me turn the camera around. So the carburetor's off. I tried to rebuild that. I couldn't. There was a lot of garbage parts. There was some security screws holding something on. The shaft was worn out. I got the wrong rebuild kit to start with anyways. So I ordered a Chinese eBay replacement carburetor. I finally got that in. You can see that the cap, rotor, points, condenser, spark plugs, plug wires, those are all new. I think we talked about that before I quit working on this thing. last thing that happened when I was trying to turn it over was this was smoking. This is my ground lead to the battery. It was smoking. I pulled on it and it came right off. Also, that's how the hot one is. So I'm going to replace both of them. I'm going to bolt on the Chinese carburetor. I'm going to replace that coil only because there's a pile of coils and ignition pieces that I found in the car, thinking that that might be an issue. I guess I could test it, but I have a new one, so I'm just going to put that in. Hopefully that'll take care of the problem. And then with all those in, I think I'm going to pull these spark plugs one more time, because I did put a lot of transmission fluid, Marvel Mystery oil down the cylinders, and I might have fouled the plugs up a little bit too, trying to turn them over. So I'll pull a couple of them and take a look at them and see if they need to be cleaned up or if they're okay to run. Once I have a carburetor on this and that coil hooked up, I'm going to give it a go, and we'll see if we can hear this thing start for the first time in 30 whatever years. So I'm going to put you down, do a little bit of quick wrenching, and then I'll pick you back up when we're ready. Okay, carburetor's on, coil's on. I did not pull any plugs, changed the battery cables. I don't have a key for it, but I found that the ignition was broken, so I'm going to turn it to start and see if I have power to the coil. If I do, I'm gonna start it with my push button. But let's see what we got. Thinking on, it would be giving me about 6 volts. 12. I got 12 volts to the coil. So let me hook my trigger up. Put a little gas down it. Oh, that's a lot of gas down it. Let's see what it does. Ooh, I don't know if it wanted to or not. And I have a dead battery. And I have a school bus. Okay, guess we'll try a different battery. Okay, got the other battery that I have out here on, and guess we get a battery charger. Okay, I have a battery on the ground, jumper cables, booster pack. I should have volts, and we're going tip. Here we go. There might be a starter problem. A little look. Come on, come on. Just ignore that fire. Oh. Alright, well, I must have a bad starter. Great. Okay, so I guess we buy a starter next. See what that does. Oh, boy, that's wonderful. Oh. I thought pulling the starter would be a good time to show you the underside of this car. It's actually really the first time I've had a good look at it too. Looks like I need a seal on the transmission, but it's not really terrible. It looks like a patch on the passenger floor right there, and the driver's floor is gone. I mean, this is just, there's just nothing there. That's carpet right there, so I will need a patch there. The frame is really nice. I mean, really solid. Probably get this thing up a little bit and paint it all up and brush paint it. But I have the starter out. That's where it was. And it is laying right here. And it is out. The Bendix is out. It will not go back. I was gonna just tear it apart and clean it, and then I noticed that, I don't know if you could see how out of round that is. It's been eating into the case, and it's got quite a bit of play in it. So this is gonna have to go out and get rebuilt. So where I'm at now with the car, I actually did hear it run, maybe for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. The big camera had died. I didn't get it on camera. The wires started smoking because the starter is locked up. I'm stuck there. This is going to need rebuilt or replaced. I'll have to go in and see if replacing is an option or if I have to send this out. I know it needs a radiator. That's in bad shape. I think everything else that I can tell without it running is going to be all right. So I'm probably going to end this video here, which is a pretty terrible place to end it. But I need to round up more parts. I'm probably looking at a few weeks. I don't want to keep this thing any longer. It's already been several weeks. So we're going to put this out as a video. We're going to round up some more parts. I will have a part 2 as soon as I can. And we're going to get this thing going. So, yep, there you go. Before I end this video, I haven't shown you the inside because I didn't have this thing off of the trailer, so I couldn't really get in here. But look at the dash on there. This is like just an aftermarket ignition. It's broken, but it's broken so that you can mess with it. I'm gonna try to eBay something better than that. Shifter is not bad. Oh, it's actually easier when I'm in front of it, but it does go through the gears. This interior is just beyond words. Let's leave it at that. I do have the trim piece back here that goes along the trunk. So the only ones I'm missing are a couple on the door. Headliner's pretty nice. Well, for what it is. These, I don't think I should pull them down. These sun visors are something else. They're all kind of warped. Not sure what that hole is right there. But, needs some glass. Mirror. Got a mirror. But yeah, this now I don't know, I'm guessing that this was red and it faded to this in the sun, because that has some red in places. It's a two-tone door trim. This one here is in kind of bad shape, passenger side, but I might be able to do something with it. This thing is just itchy, like it's just, I don't know. It's like Pimp Mobile. But yeah, I'm probably gonna leave it, clean it up real good best I can, and I don't know, see how it goes. But anyways, that's the Studebaker, guys. Like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't get it going in one video. I actually did. It did puff away for a couple of seconds. I'm gonna make sure you guys hear that as soon as we get back to this car. But I don't know. I don't know what parts are gonna do to me. So we'll I mean, time wise, I'm sure I can find a local shop still to rebuild the starter. I'm sure I can find a local radiator shop to recore it. But you know, what's that going to be, a week, a month? I really don't know, and I don't want to hold this video up any longer. So guys, thanks again for watching. There's more to come. I have 2 other projects in the works, and a surprise coming in about a month and a half. I'll take you along for that. But yeah, I guess we're done today. So guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you would, if you like it. Probably not worth it yet. Give me some time. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring this all out. But thanks, and see you guys. Another rookie mistake. I left the mic off. So I really didn't want to finish this video without this car running, or at least me making a real attempt to make it run. So I sent the starter away to a shop in Pittsburgh. It's called Boulevard Generators. It's in the Bellevue neighborhood. It's quite a drive, but I called the guy up. His name is Joe. I can't remember Joe's last name, but he knew everything about that starter just when I mentioned what it was for a car, what a motor it had. So I sent it to Joe on a Friday. I got to his shop around 10 in the morning. Around 2 in the afternoon, he called me, told me all the parts were ordered. And Monday around lunchtime, he told me my starter was done, ready to go. So we're going to throw this in, do an oil change, and see if we can make this thing run. So after spending about 10 minutes looking for an oil filter in this car, I had my daughter Google it. And it turns out it's supposed to be right here, right in this hole right here. So apparently it was an option on Studebaker. This one doesn't have an oil filter, so definitely a good idea to change the oil, and probably a good idea to get onto eBay when I'm done today and see if I can find one, either a used one or maybe an aftermarket or something that will filter the oil. So I'm gonna get that finished up, gonna get the starter in, and I don't know, maybe hook up a fuel line, see if a fuel pump is gonna do something for me, and we'll see what happens after that. Okay, starter is in, oil is drained, plug is back in, no oil filter done. So we still got to add oil to it. I've run gas from the fuel pump straight into that can, up over the top, plumbed right into right there. If you could see, I think I pointed this out before, I don't expect this to hold water for long, so I'm not going to put any in it yet. If it starts and idles, then I'll put water in it. So I'm going to get it off of the jack. I'm going to put oil in it. I've already put some gas in the carburetor. I think we're getting close to ready. So let me get the oil in this thing. Let me get it down on all 4 flats, and we'll see what happens. Be right back. Okay, so today's mixture for oil, we have zinc additive. Important in these old cars. We'll dump that slowly in there. Okay. This is not royal purple, and this is not diesel oil. This is 1030 Walmart Super Tech box inside of a bag oil. which is good enough since this is only going to run for a little bit, and then it's going to get another oil change. You can see how thin this stuff is. I really do need to eBay a filter. It really bothers me to run this motor without one, but I guess it's worked for the 100,000 miles or so that it's got on it so far. So we'll put that in there, and then anything else that it needs, I'm going to top it off with transmission fluid. Just because it's been sitting for 30 whatever years. Transmission fluid is a detergent. It'll help clean stuff, unstick stuff, and not a bad idea since it doesn't have a filter anyways. So let's check. It's thin enough, it should be in the pan already. I did notice that it looks like the oil pan gasket is going to need changed. Wow, how many quarts does this thing hold? 5 quarts to full. Add 1 quart. Maybe it's just that thin that I can't see it. Well, we are at the full mark, so I guess it's not getting any transmission fluid. Okay. Got oil. Maybe gas. Give it a battery. Plus, minus. A little bit of gas for good measure. Turn the key. Alright, new starter, let's see how it does. Come on, oh, did we flood it way out? Woo! She's a running car. Fuel pump's not doing anything though, so you'll have that. So apparently I just needed to relocate the gas can up to the top because she's idling.
This is not vinegar, it's just water. I figured it's gonna run out as fast as I'm putting it in. And I'm wrong, I don't see it leaking a whole lot. I'm sure once it gets some pressure it'll leak, but and so far, so good. Bring her up a scotch. Yeah, she's happy. Well guys, there you have it. It's running. It's up to temperature. It's not doing anything weird. 63-year-old car. Parked for 30 years according to the guy I bought it from. Burn away. So guys, we're going to have to put together a parts list. Needs tires, probably brake. Well, I know brakes, a windshield. It has nothing electrical working on the inside, so I got to figure that all out. Needs a floor. Front seat's just sitting in there. So we got some work to do, but we got a running car. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking it out to the end. If you did, we will be back with this car pretty soon. Once we get enough pieces to make another video. We have that van sitting behind me that we got to do some work to that. And I'll stick around, guys. Thanks for watching Attempted Auto. We'll see you next time.